Hey y'all, it's me, Key. Welcome back to my channel. So today I do have a story time for y'all. And before we get into the story time, I just want to mention I'm on the road to 1K subscribers and I'm trying to reach my goal before the end of the year. So if you could please like, comment, subscribe, and share the story time, that would help me out so much, y'all. Also, I want to mention if you would like to see any other content, just let me know down in the comment section, because I know at one point I was posting cooking tutorials, but I've just been sticking to story times lately. So if you would like to see any other content, just let me know down in the comment section. Let's go ahead and get into the story time. This story time is going to be about Predator. It's going to be about all the signs that I missed before I actually found out that I was this man's side chick. Okay, let's get into it. Let's rewind all the way back to before I actually moved to Vegas to be with Predator. One particular day, I remember I was just driving around and I was on the phone with Predator, and I had mentioned to Predator that I had just put my car in the shop and I had got a rental. And he was like, "Oh, you got a rental? Well, if you got a rental, why don't you just come out here to Vegas and see me? You know, I ain't seen you in a little minute and I do miss you. You really want me to come to Vegas?" He was like, "Yeah, why not? Like, why don't you come spend some time with me and we could have a good time?" So I'm like, you know, that don't sound like a bad idea. I'm gonna go out there. So right away, I jump on Groupon and I book a room at the Stratosphere. I think it's called the Strat now, but back then it was called the Stratosphere. So I booked the room and I head over to Ross to get me a gym bag, like a small gym bag to put my clothes in. And then I go home and start packing. And it's starting to get late in the day. It's probably like 5 or 6 in the evening, and I knew I had to hurry up because if it got dark, I didn't want to leave because I already don't like driving at night. And I know it was going to be dark on the way there, but if it was dark before I left, I was not going to leave until the next day. Me and Predator didn't talk the whole way to Vegas, but he was calling and checking in on me, making sure my ride was okay, making sure I was good, you know, just checking in. So I'm like 15 to 20 minutes away from the hotel, and Predator, he calls me. He was like, "Where you at?" And I'm like, "I'm almost there. I'm like 15, 20 minutes away." He was like, "Okay, cool." Before I left to go to Vegas, Predator had told me that he didn't have his car. He told me that he left it in Cali and his cousin was the one that drove him to Vegas. I already knew that Predator didn't have his car before I drove to Vegas. So Predator tells me, since I don't have my car, I'm just going to drive my cousin's car to the hotel. You don't have to pick me up. And I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Why would you drive your cousin's car to the hotel and I can just pick you up? He was like, "I'm going to just take the car. It don't matter. I'm just going to take the car." I'm like, all right, whatever. And that was a red flag. Because why wouldn't you want your girl to pick you up and she got a car? It makes no sense. I get to the hotel, get to the front desk, get my key, and then I go upstairs into my room. So remind y'all, it's like maybe 10, 11-ish at night, and I'm waiting on Predator. So I call him when I get into my room and he doesn't answer the phone. So I'm like, that's weird. We just talked not that long ago, and why would he be answering the phone? I thought he was on his way. But I'm not thinking too much of it. I'm thinking maybe he just trying to find a parking spot, because he did tell me that he was on his way. I forgot to mention to y'all, when we were on the phone before I got to the hotel, he asked me what room I was going to be in. So I'm like, I don't know the room yet, but when I check in, I'll let you know the room. And I'm like, why are you asking what room I'm going to be in? He says, when I get there, I'm just going to go straight to the room. I'm like, okay. So I had already gave Predator the room number. So I'm not, thinking too much of it. So I'm in the room waiting for him. I'm just chilling, laying in the bed, turning on the TV. And I'm expecting Predator at any minute, because remind y'all, I just talked to him about 30 minutes ago, 30, 40 minutes ago. Time go by, maybe like 30 minutes go by, and no Predator. So I sent him a text. I'm like, "Hey, where you at?" He didn't text me back. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna, I'm not gonna trip. I'm not gonna panic. I'm not gonna go in panic mode, because usually I'll go in panic mode, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna wait and be patient. So an hour go by. Now I'm panicking. So I call Predator. I'm like thinking, like, where this man at? So Predator sends me a text and he tells me he's coming. And I reply back, I'm like, why aren't you answering the phone? And you told me that you were going to be here. Why is it taking so long? And he was just like, "Man, I'm coming." So I'm like, oh, what the hell is going on? So I'm laying in the bed and I ended up dozing off, because before that I had already had a long day, and it's like 11 o'clock at night. And I usually go to bed every night between 8 and 8:30. I don't know why my body just shuts down, and I just go to bed around that time every night. So I ended up falling asleep, and I wake up to a knock at the door. And when I wake up, I look at the clock. that's sitting on the nightstand, and it's 2 o'clock in the morning, y'all, like 2 something in the morning. And I instantly get an attitude. So I jump up and I snatch the door open, and it's Predator goofy ass standing there. And I'm like, what took you so long? You know what time I got here. He was like, I know, I'm sorry, I was waiting on my cousin's car. And I'm like, why were you sitting there waiting on your cousin's car? And you knew I just drove here. I could have just picked you up. That made no sense. He was like, man, calm down, I'm here now. And something caught my attention too, y'all. So I noticed that Predator was wearing some jewelry that was too damn little for him. He had on this little baby chain and these little stud earrings. I think they were some nugget earrings, but they were like super small. I really don't remember. But there were some small earrings and a little chain. It looked like some jewelry that would be for a female. So I asked him, I'm like, who jewelry you got on? Because the whole time I'm dating Predator, he didn't wear any jewelry. Like, I saw past pictures of him, like old pictures of him where he had like hella jewelry, but he didn't have none when he was talking to me. So I'm like, who jewelry you got on? He was like, oh, my auntie got this for me for my birthday. That's how he said it, like a little goofy ass boy. My auntie got this for me for my birthday. So I'm like, your birthday was way back, but now that don't even make sense. Whatever. I'm not gonna question it. If this man is telling me his auntie got that jewelry for him for his birthday, then I'm gonna believe it. Whatever. It ain't that serious, but it was that serious. So he asked me, well, what do you want to do? I'm like, what do you mean what I want to do? It's 2 o'clock in the morning. He was like, well, you know, Vegas never sleeps. We can go out and find us something to do. So I'm like, whatever. I guess we can go down to the casino. So we went downstairs to the casino and we sat at the slot machines. And I already want to sit at the slot machines and act like I'm playing the slots, because anytime you're gambling in Vegas, you get free drinks. So I'm just feeding the slot machines $1 bills. And I'm waiting for the waitress to come around and bring me a few drinks. So I'm just sitting there, you know, drinking on these cheap drinks and trying to have a good time, even though I'm super, super tired. So we did that for like an hour, and then he was like, well, you want to go get something to eat? So I'm like, yeah, we can go get something to eat. I can eat right now. So he was like, let's go to Denny's. And I really don't like Denny's like that. I'm more of an IHOP girl, but this is what he wanted to eat, and he was paying for it. So I'm like, whatever. So we went across to Denny's. Denny's was like across the street or a little bit up the street from the hotel. So we went over there, and the food, it was mid. It wasn't even that good. Like, I ain't gonna lie. I probably only had Denny's like once or twice before that, and I knew I wasn't gonna like it. So yeah, the food was mid. He's sitting there dogging his food out like he always do, and he just enjoying himself. After that, we went back to the hotel, and what else did we do? We went back to the slot machines. So we played the slot machines till like 5 in the morning. We both at the slot machines, can barely keep our damn eyes open. We both falling asleep. So Predator says, I'm gonna go lay down for like an hour, then I gotta get up and go meet somebody so I can get some stuff to sell, meaning some trees to sell. And I'm like, okay, well, yeah, let's go lay down, and when you get up, I could just go with you. He was like, no, I don't want you to go with me. I'm like, why? He was like, well, because I could be putting you in a dangerous situation. I don't want to do that. I'm like, you know what? You're probably right. So I'm like, well, let's go lay down. So he says, no, I'm going to go to my cousin's house. So I say, why would you go to your cousin's house and I'm right here? So he tells me, because I already told you what I'm trying to do. I'm about to go lay down and I'm going to meet up with this person. So I tell him, you just sound stupid. You asked me to come out here so you can spend time with me, but you leaving me? First, you came to the hotel super late, and now you're telling me that you're leaving and you're going to go back to your cousin's house? I just felt so stupid, y'all. I just felt so stupid. I know trolls are about to be eating me up in the comment section once I finish telling this story time, because they usually do. And it be mainly from older women. Like, they be saying some off-the-wall stuff, and it be funny to me, but I'll be also thinking, like, damn, older women are really giving me this mean girl energy. Like, what's wrong with y'all? What be wrong with y'all, bro? What be wrong with y'all? And I'm sorry if y'all can hear my kids in the background. They're supposed to be cleaning up their room, but they know because I'm in here recording that I'm not going to get up and say anything. I'm just trying to get this story time done. But yeah, I'm sorry if y'all can hear them in the background. They going crazy right now, y'all. It's the weekend. Predator walks me back up to my hotel room and he leaves me. And I was so sad. I feel like I got played. So after he leaves, I try my best to get some sleep, y'all. I try my best to get some sleep. And it's so hard for me to sleep alone. Like, if I'm at home alone, I cannot sleep. Somebody has to be in the house with me. So I'm in this hotel room by myself, and I'm trying my best to force myself to sleep. I know I was just in the casino falling asleep, dozing off at the slot machine. But I'm in this room, this empty room by myself, and I cannot get any sleep. The sun was starting to come out, so I closed the blinds and make sure to keep the room dark as possible so I can try to trick my brain into thinking it was nighttime so I can go to sleep. When I did end up sleeping for a long period of time, when I woke up, y'all, I had a super bad headache and my eyes were burning. And when I did get up, it was like 12 o'clock in the afternoon. And at that point, I really just wanted to get back on the road and go home. And I should have done that, y'all. I get up and I check my phone and I notice that I don't have any texts or missed calls from Predator. So yeah, I'm thinking I got played. He had me come all this way to Vegas for literally no reason. Like, I still didn't see the point of him asking me to come to Vegas just for him to leave me, y'all. So I'm like, you know what? I already booked this room. I'm going to try to make the best out of this trip. Even if I have to spend it alone, I'm going to try to make the best of the trip. And y'all, I could have called my dad because during that time my dad was living in Las Vegas, so I could have called my dad to meet up with him and spend time with him, but my dad was out of town all the time, and it was really rare that my dad was at home. So he was already going out of town and I just had nobody to kick it with. So I'm just gonna explore Vegas by myself. So I start my day. I get in the shower, and after I got out the shower about to get dressed, I get a call from Predator. I'm like, what's up? He's just telling me that he was on his way. He's sorry he wasn't there when I got up and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you know what? It's cool. I'm just about to get ready and find me something to do. He was like, okay, well, wait on me. I'm about to be there. He probably got to the hotel maybe 10 to 15 minutes later. So Predator knocks on the door and I let him in, and he sees that I'm getting ready, and he asked me, he was like, well, how did you sleep last night or this morning? I'm like, I didn't really sleep at all. It's hard for me to sleep by myself. You already know that. So he tells me, oh, I'm sorry, babe. Let's lay down right now. So he takes off his jacket and proceeds to get in the bed to lay down. And I'm like, no, I don't want to lay down. I'm finna get ready. I'm finna go. So he was like, okay, well, where do you want to go? I'm like, I don't know. I just don't plan on sitting in this hotel room the whole time that I'm here. Like, you had me come here and you just been on BS. He was like, no, it's not even like that. You know, I'm in my cousin's car. But you don't have to be in your cousin's car. I didn't even try to argue with that boy. When I get mad, sometimes I just completely shut down and I'm just over it. There's no need for me to talk about it no more. There's no need for me to argue with you, because at this point, I'm just ready to put my hands on you. So I start to get ready, and then we head out the hotel. So I tell Predator, let's go shopping. He was like, you want to go shopping? I'm like, yeah, let's go shopping. He was like, all right, let's go. So we get in the car and then we go shopping. Well, I go shopping. I go shopping for myself. We just went to some basic ass stores, y'all, like Ross and TJ Maxx, little stores like that. Like, when it comes to myself, I really don't do too much shopping. I could wear the same clothes for years, y'all. I have some really old stuff. So I really don't do too much shopping when it comes to myself. But for my kids, I go all out. So I just went and tried to find me some outfits, you know, some little Vegas souvenirs, you know, just drive around and sightsee. After we went shopping, I wanted to go to the strip to get one of those really big, tall drinks. Hold on, y'all. So yeah, we went to the strip so I can get one of those really big, tall drinks that I knew that I was not going to be able to finish. But I wanted one. I wanted to just get one so I could take pictures and post it on Instagram and Facebook. So we're driving to the strip and I noticed that Predator was rushing. So he's driving super fast and we get to the strip and he's trying to find a place to park and he just rushing like, damn, I gotta hurry and find a place. I gotta hurry and find a parking spot. And I'm like, looking at him like, what the fuck is he doing? We got all day. So we finally find a parking spot and we get out the car. He was like, hurry up, let's go. I already know the places. We gonna hurry up and walk over there and you're gonna get your drink. So I'm getting irritated because Predator is rushing. And if you've ever been to Vegas, you know the strip is very long. And I wanted to walk the strip and take my time with my drink in my hand. So I asked Predator, I'm like, what's the rush for? Like, we got all day. We ain't got nothing to do. What's the rush? I want to get my drink and I want to walk the strip and take my time. So Predator says, I got my cousin's car, and my cousin already texted me and said he needed his car back. So we weren't in his cousin's car, we were in my rental. So I'm like, why are you serious? Your cousin really need his car back? He's like, yeah, I gotta go take my cousin his car back. So I'm like, whatever. So we walk over to the place. I don't know if it was Fat Tuesday or that other place, but we walk over and I get me one of those tall drinks and we go back to the car and head back to the hotel room. On the way back to the hotel, Predator stops by the dispensary and he buys him, you know, something to smoke. And then he gets back in the car and then we go to the liquor store and we both get out. So I'm thinking he just probably about to grab him something quick to drink, maybe some chips or something. No, this fool gets a big bottle of Hennessy and I'm like, why are you getting that bottle of Hennessy? Didn't your cousin say he needed his car? Like, what are you about to go do? He was like, man, I'm just getting this for my cousin. So I look at him like, you think I'm stupid. But you know, I probably am, because I'm allowing him to do this. I'm allowing him to sit here and lie to me. Like, I wasn't that young and naive. Like, Predator, he was in his 30s, y'all. I was only in my 20s. He obviously knew that he had somebody young and stupid. So he got his Hennessy, and then he took me back to the hotel. He walked me to my room, and he tells me, so yeah, I'm about to bring my cousin back his car, and once he's done doing what he needs to do, I'm gonna come back to the hotel room. And I'm like, just go. I don't need no rundown of what you about to do. No excuses, nothing. Bye. Get out my face. So he leaves, and I sat there for a minute, and I drank some of my drink, and I'm like, I'm not about to sit in this damn room. So I get up and I leave. When I left the hotel, I didn't really do too much. I was really just driving around. Like, the rental that I had was a cool little car. So I'm like driving around in the rental, just sightseeing, not doing too much, because for one, I already don't know nobody out there. I don't know my way around, but I just wanted to sightsee. I wanted to just see some shit. I didn't come all the way to Vegas to sit in a hotel room. So that's what I did. I just drove around, hit some little stores, and that was that. So after I was done wasting gas, I went back to the hotel and waited on Predator to come. So Predator, he came back that same day. He did. He probably came back around maybe, I don't know, y'all. It wasn't dark when he came back, y'all. I just don't remember the exact time. But it wasn't dark, though. So he had came back and he asked me, he was like, you want to go get something to eat? I'm like, yeah, I'm hungry. We hadn't really ate shit all day. So he asked me, where you want to eat? We can eat anywhere. I know I picked Denny's last night or this morning, but it's your turn to pick what you want to go eat. So I tell him I want to go eat Ella M's. I always see Ella M's on Instagram, and the food just looks so good. If you don't know what Ella M's is, it's a soul food restaurant, and I love me some soul food, y'all. So I'm like, yeah, let's go to Ella M's. And he hadn't had Ella M's before either. So he was like, okay, yeah, cool, let's go get some soul food. So we drive down to Ella M's, and we didn't plan on sitting in the restaurant. We were just gonna do a pickup. So we go into Ella M's, and I'm telling him, ooh, I always wanted to try the oxtail because I seen the pictures and it looked bomb. So he's just telling me, yeah, I wanna try the oxtails too, but I do want to get the smothered pork chops. I don't know, there's different foods that I want to try. So he was like, you know what? I'm gonna get the smothered pork chops, but why don't we share the oxtails? And that's what I hated about Predator, because he was always so quick to split a meal with me. I don't want to split my damn meal with your big hungry ass. So, y'all, let me give y'all an example, right? So, I remember we were in Vegas one time, and he wanted to go to I wanted to go to this crab place. It was my idea. And I'm like, let's go eat here. Like, it's a new place, and I love a good seafood boil. So, he was like, okay, let's go. So, we went to the crab place. Instead of him buying me my own crab boil, he goes, why don't we just share? It looks like a lot of food. We could just share. He was just being cheap. So, I'm like, no, I mean, if you ain't got the money, I could just buy my own food, because I did not want to share with him. He was like, no, it's cool. It just looks like a lot of food. We could just share. I'm like, whatever, we could share. So we got the tray of the seafood boil. We sat down. We sat at the restaurant that day, and he was right. It was a lot of food, but still, I want my own food. I could have, ate my leftovers the next day, but yeah, it was a lot of food. So we sitting there eating our food, right? And Predator, his big hungry ass, like, he wasn't no heavy dude, but he was real tall and just super greedy, right? So he's sitting there eating the food, and he eating fast too, y'all. He eating real fast. And he gonna have the nerve to tell me, stop eating all the food. I'm like, what you mean stop eating all the food? I'm barely eating anything. I probably had a piece of shrimp and a damn corn. I'm like, can I at least get a crab leg in? This nigga was like a machine. He just fucking it up, just eating that damn crab boil hella fast. And at one point, I'm just like, you know what? You can have that. Go ahead and finish it off, buddy. Go ahead and take that. So yeah, y'all, I already know what it was gonna be when we got back to the hotel with our food. I'm like, okay, yeah, I guess we can. So I had planned on getting the greens and 2 orders of the rice and gravies to go with my oxtails. So we go back and we sit in the car, And like the wait was really long. I think we had to wait like an hour for our food. I don't have a problem waiting for my food because I want my food to be fresh. I want it to be done right, and that's just what it is. So we sit in the car waiting on our food, and then Predator, he, like I said, he rushes with everything. So he's sitting in the car and he's getting mad, talking about, damn, what's the wait? Like, why is it taking so long? Boy, this ain't McDonald's. We're at an actual restaurant. They have to take time to prepare their meal. Don't you want your food done right? I know they probably had cooked the oxtail earlier that day, but they had to fry the pork chops fresh, so I'm sure that's why we were waiting for so long. So he getting in and out the car, walking around the car, just mad, like talking shit, and he was getting on my nerves because it was never that serious. So the food is ready, and Big Hungry is happy now. He's happy again because the food is done. So we get back in the car, we head back to the hotel room. We get back to the hotel, and Predator starts making my plate. It was enough oxtails for the both of us to share. And remind y'all, this man got a whole meal to himself, and we're sharing the oxtails, but it was enough for both of us. So I'm watching him make my plate, and I noticed that he's keeping most of the oxtails for himself. So he walks over to the bed, and he hands me my plate. He's like, here you go, babe. I'm like, thanks. And I'm not even gonna trip y'all because I could always walk over and make me another plate. And he also had those smothered pork chops because I love me some smothered pork chops. I don't know. I had them in a long time, but I know they best to eat during the winter. I might have to make me some this year. I'm sitting there eating my food, and I'm low-key mad though. I know I said once I'm finished with this and I'm still hungry, I could always go make me another plate. But I'm mad because I gotta share my meal with this nigga. So he's sitting at the table and he facing the wall, like towards the TV, and he's eating his food. And I'm just watching him. Y'all. That Billy Goat was sitting there eating that food like a damn scavenger, y'all. I wanted to slap him in the back of his head because it was never that serious. Y'all should have saw how this man was eating. I told y'all when he ate, it was like a machine because he ate so fast. Like, he just be dogging his food out. And he wasn't no big dude. He was big because he was super tall, but the way he ate, he must have had a fast metabolism because he could eat. So after Predator finishes inhaling both his meals, he tells me, what y'all said with me, his cousin needs his car. I give Predator one of the room keys because I was thinking about taking a nap. So Predator leaves. I just lay there and watch TV. I ended up not even taking a nap. Predator ended up coming back maybe like an hour later. I'm assuming his cousin just wanted to go to the store. Shit, who knows? He probably wanted to drive his car in a circle and then give it back to Predator. I don't know, but Predator wasn't gone that long. So when Predator comes back, we both lay in the bed and we start watching another movie. And Predator says, you know what? I want to smoke. I want to go get me a blunt wrap or whatever he said it was. I'm like, okay. So he asked me, do you want to go with me? And I'm like thinking to myself, what? He wants me to ride in his cousin's car with him? I'm like, yeah, I'll go with you. But he goes, grab your keys. And I'm like, okay. So I started thinking, y'all. I'm thinking like, I want to know what kind of car his cousin got. So I asked Predator, what kind of car does your cousin have? I want to see what kind of car he has. And y'all know what Predator tells me? He says, my cousin doesn't like people knowing what kind of car he has. I just look at him, y'all. I look at that man so stupid. I grab my purse and I just walk out the hotel. He cannot be for real. So we go to the 7-Eleven. He goes in and gets out whatever he needs out of the 7-Eleven, and he gets back in the car. So we drive back to the hotel. And while we're in the parking garage looking for a parking spot, Predator's driving and I'm in the passenger seat. I look over. Something tells me to look over to my right. As soon as I turn my head, y'all know what I see? I instantly see Predator's car. Y'all know the car that he told me he left in California? Yeah, that car. And it all makes sense now, y'all. Remember in the beginning of the story time when Predator asked me what the hotel room number was? That's why he asked me what it was, because he didn't want me to see what car he was pulling up in. He wanted me to just be in the room waiting for him, and he pulled up, hide his car, and then meet me in the hotel room. So yes, y'all, everything was coming together. Everything was starting to come to the light. So I turn to Predator and I say, there's your car. And he looked over and he didn't say nothing. He's still driving around like I wasn't talking to him, looking for a parking space. So I'm like, okay, maybe he ain't hear me. So I start yelling. I say, there's your car. And he was like, man, all right. Like, he couldn't even really say nothing. So I say, do you not hear me talking to you? Why would you tell me that you left your car in California? Why would you tell me that? You told me that you were driving your cousin's car. Why is your car here in the parking garage? And I know y'all probably think like maybe that was somebody else's car. No, I know this man's car like the back of my hand. When I would go visit him in California, he would let me drive his car. So I know his car. So Predator isn't saying anything and I'm just going off on him. And I say, so you ain't gonna say shit? And he goes, what do you want me to say? The truth? Motherfucker, don't you think I deserve the truth? Inquiring minds would like to know. Then he had the nerve to tell me, you can believe what you want. What do you mean believe what I want? This is what you're telling me. You the one who told me you left your car in California, you driving your cousin's car. You're telling me this. And then I see with my 2 eyes, actually my 4 eyes because I wear glasses. I see with my 4 eyes that that's your car. That's your vehicle. What are you talking about? Like, this whole trip makes no sense. You don't make any sense. So Predator jumps out the car and I guess he speed walks to his car and leaves. I stayed in the rental. I just sat there. And it probably looked like I was crying because when I was sitting there, I was bent over and I had my head in my hands like this, like bent over like that. But I wasn't crying, y'all. I was just yelling, talking shit, just getting all my anger out. I was really mad, y'all. I just feel like this man played me so bad. So I sat in the car for maybe a good 5 to 7 minutes. And when I got out, y'all, tell me why there was 2 dudes standing by their car. And they weren't too far from my car, but they were standing there. And when I got out to walk towards the entrance, one of the dudes gonna yell out, oh, that lame ass nigga got you in the car crying. Come fuck with a real nigga. I'm like, what? Oh, hell no. I was so embarrassed. I can't believe they really thought I was sitting in the car crying over a nigga. No, it probably looked like that because how he got out and left me in the car. But no, I was not sitting in the car crying over Predator. I was mad again. But crying, no. They had me so messed up. I just looked at them. I didn't even say nothing because I was pissed off. And I went back into the hotel. So I make it back up to my hotel room. Like, I don't go in because I'm looking for my key. I'm looking all through my purse for my room key and I can't find it. So I think to myself, maybe I left it in the car. But I remember those 2 dudes who were standing in the parking garage next to the car. I'm just hoping that they're not still down there when I have to go back to the car to look for my room key. So I'm like, damn, I'm going to give it a good 5 minutes. Hopefully they're gone. So I waited 5 minutes and I head back to the parking garage. So I get to the parking garage and the 2 men who were standing by their car, they were no longer there. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I get to looking around in the rental for the room key and I look up and down, high and low for that room key. It was not there. And I'm like, damn, I must have dropped it when I was either shopping or on the strip. I don't know. I don't remember dropping anything the whole time me and Predator were out, but I dropped it somewhere, obviously. So yeah, I could have went to the front desk to get another room key, but I thought, I did give Predator one of my room keys. And I do want to find out where his cousin live at. So let me hit him up. So I call Predator and he picks up the phone right away, y'all, because I already know he answered the phone because he knows he's in the wrong. So he's trying to get back on my good side. So he answered the phone and he's like, hey, I need my room key. I lost my other room key and I need my key back from you. So he tells me, okay, well, I can bring it back up there to you. I'm like, no, I want my room key right now. I don't want to see you no more. I don't want you down here at the hotel. I need my key. He was like, wow, for real, you're going to be like that? Yeah, I'm going to be like that because you've been lying to me this whole damn time. So he goes, all right, well, I mean, I can bring it to you, but if you really want to come get it, I'll send you my cousin's address. I'm like, okay, yeah, just send me the address and I'll be on my way. I tell Predator that I left my inhaler in the room and I felt like I was going to have an asthma attack, so he needs to hurry up and send the address. So boom, he sends the address and I'll be on my way to his cousin's house. As I'm on my way to Predator, he sends me a text saying, meet him at the front office. I get to the address that he sends me and it's an apartment complex. So I remember there was a really big gate in the front that you have to go through, but the gate was open. So I go through the gate and right in the front, there's a front office. So I park in the front. I text Predator and I say, I'm outside, come on. So as I'm sitting in the car, I start to look around to see which direction that Predator was going to come from. So I'm looking around and I'm sitting in the car for a good 10 minutes, y'all. I start to look at my phone eventually. As I start to look at my phone, I hear a knock on the window and it's Predator. And I'm mad because I didn't even get to see which direction that he came from. And honestly, I think he was probably standing around somewhere the whole time, because why would I start looking at my phone, you appear out of nowhere? That's really weird. So I roll down my window. I'm like, where the fuck is my room key? So he hands me my room key and he goes, so you're going to be like this? Be like what? You made it this way. And he goes, so you really not going to let me come back to the room with you? Nigga, no, I'm not. Nigga, no, I'm not. Come back to the room with me for what? You've been lying to me this whole time. Well, just let me come back to the room and I'll explain everything to you. I promise. I'll explain everything to you. Predator is really trying to get on my good side. He's just telling me everything he thinks I want to hear and this, and that. And I'm like, whatever. I already told you I had to get back to the hotel room because I needed my inhaler. I ain't got time to sit here and talk to you. I was trying to talk to you earlier. You didn't want to talk to me. You got up and left. Bye. I leave the apartment complex and I head back to the hotel. I go back to the hotel and I didn't do nothing for the rest of the day. I had plans on going down to the casino and gambling and getting some free drinks, but I just didn't feel like doing anything no more. I was just so over that little Vegas trip. I just wanted to go home. So I just chilled back in the room, watched movies, and got ready to leave the next morning. I had plans on getting back on the road at like 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. So later on, probably around 10, like around 10 o'clock at night, I get a knock on the door and it's Predator. I let him come in. He's just making up a whole bunch of bullshit. I don't really remember what he said because it was just all bullshit. Honestly, I think he told me that he didn't have his car, so he didn't have to drive to Arizona to visit me. That's the real reason why I think he told me he didn't have his car. Because he knew if I knew that he had his car, I would have been telling him to come to Arizona, because if you can drive to Vegas, you can come to Arizona to see me, right? And if we're supposed to be in a relationship and you love me, that wouldn't have been a problem. So for the rest of the night, we just laid in the bed and watched the movie. And we ended up falling asleep because, like I said, I had plans on getting up early in the morning and getting on the road about 5 or 6 o'clock. My alarm goes off at 4:30 in the morning, right? I wake up and I look over and Predator, he's not in the bed with me. He's not there. Remind y'all, we both fell asleep together. So he's not there. And I'm thinking, okay, maybe he's in the bathroom. So I get up and I go to the bathroom. Nobody's there. So I'm like, I know he didn't leave. Maybe he just went down to the casino. So I call him. No answer. I call him again. No answer. Now I'm starting to get mad. So I send him a text and I say, where the f you at? No text back. I'm like, okay, all right. I'm going to go over there to his cousin's apartment complex and I'm going to look for the car. So I get myself together and I head out and get in the car and head over to the apartment complex. As I'm driving to the apartments, I'm mad. I'm still looking at my phone, seeing if Predator texts me or call me. No communication whatsoever. So as I'm approaching the apartments, I'm about to turn into the front gate. And guess who is coming out of the gate? It's Predator. This whole scene was like something out of a movie, because how do I see the person that I'm looking for coming out of the apartments as I'm about to come in? Like, it was crazy. So I see Predator's car and it looked like he had somebody sitting in his passenger seat, but I really couldn't tell if it was a male or a female because his windows were dark tint. So we're going to stop the story time right here, y'all. We're going to have to make a part 2. And I promise I will not leave y'all waiting a long time. Give me like 2-3 days and I'll post part 2. So thank you so much for tuning in. If you could please like, comment, subscribe, and share this story time, that would help me out so much, because y'all know we're on the road to 1K subscribers. I'm sorry if y'all can hear my loud kids in the background, but thank you so much for watching.